Live! Hello, all newcomers, and welcome back, my fellow Aeternians. As always, it's me, Emperor AP, and I am incredibly excited to be talking to you all today about the Empire of Aeternia's growth strategy. We've talked about growing in the past, we've talked about what it means for a nation to progress and to develop and to expand. For a lot of micronations, they start out getting the name of their country, their flag, getting a government together, writing their founding documents, their constitution, their declarations of independence, whatever it is. And then they will start to set up some kind of small organs within their society. They'll start to set up some government offices and functions. They'll start to set up maybe a media representative or something like that, some media house to produce things for them to get the word out about what they're doing. And then from there, a lot of micronations tend to be limited. The amount of micronations that get past that point are very small. So we've talked in the past about getting past that point a little bit. We've talked about developing economies, which is something that's very tough for micronations to do. A good number of micronations will delve into the concept of economies, but not actually pushing too far forward in that. So I'm going to be going forward with being honest and forthright about what it is that we are doing, what our strategies are, and how we are going to be using those to try to push past that stage, to try to continue to develop. Even though we've done a lot, our economy has not been something that has been incredibly robust or something that can provide all that our empire needs to be able to survive and to thrive. So we're looking at what we're doing to continue to correct that, to continue to build our economy in a direction that works for us. First, I want to go ahead and address the people who are here with us today. His Majesty Queen Bougie of Mecklenburg. Great to see you, Queen Bougie. Thank you so much for being here. Communist Republic of Albania says, hello, Emperor AP from the Dictator. Great to see you. Dictator of Albanian, thank you for being here. Shaplavza said, okay, great to see you as well. Thank you for being here. Again, we're talking about strategy today. I actually wanted to talk about the Garden of Nations today because we have had a bunch of development there. We, in fact, put in our second garden bed, so we are going to be pushing forward with a lot more there, but it is storming outside today here in Aeternia. It is specifically here at Talon and Vine Farm, at our northernmost territory. It is a rough day out there. I was even supposed to harvest some of our elderberries, which is a crop we have now, something that I'm excited to talk about and to explain that'll go into our strategy. But while I figured we're rained out for today, I would clean up the throne room a little bit, the Hall of the Empire. I would try to get something set up so that I can give you guys more visual representation when we're talking about these ideas and these theories. So I've actually set up a nice little whiteboard over there. And in just a minute, we will get to writing some stuff down and describing some stuff about our strategy. First, Psyopster, great to see you. Thanks for being here. A few things to bring up. The first one is going to be that we, in the Empire of Aeternia, for those of you who don't know, have two territories. Our first territory, the first one that we got, and our capital territory is Vitae. We got Vitae basically 3 years ago, 2 to 3 years ago, and we are still in the process of developing it. When we got it, it was completely undeveloped. It was a patch of not even a patch of dirt, a patch of woods on the side of the road with no driveway, no way to get onto it. There was a ditch that drove onto the property, and that was it. The drainage ditch for the road, for the water, that was it. So we were having to park our car on the side of the road and get out and haul pallet wood and any construction materials we could get just to try and set something up out there. And eventually, over that long a time of slowly doing that, we've gotten the foundation dug and set up for our first experimental shelter there. It's an experimental dwelling. Basically, it's a shed as of right now. We're actively building the roof of it, but it is well framed, has a cement base. We have now put pallet wood around the sides, have started framing the roof. and that's about where we are. We have the actual metal roofing for it as well. It's just been stored while we're trying to finish building this building. So in all of that slow process of trying to get anything out there to be able to build, to be able to store materials, to be able to do all of those things, our ability to develop vitae has been very limited. So the other thing we did was actually develop a driveway. So it was a huge investment for us. We had to sink a lot of money into it and a lot of time and planning out. But we were actually able to get a culvert put in and our driveway set, which was nice. You know, now we can park a couple of cars out there. We're not trying to park in the ditch. We're not creating a lot of issue or hazard for us to get out onto vitae. So that's fantastic. We have an into our capital territory. We finally have a way to continue progressing more quickly. And so that's where we've stayed with vitae. Then all of a sudden we had to pivot because now we had the opportunity to get this place, Talon and Vine Farm, our second territory. We knew it was going to be a large expansion. We knew it was going to be something that was a lot more developed than vitae was. So the benefit of having vitae is that it is something that we can build 100% to our specifications. It is something that doesn't have anything on it, so everything we build can be planned and designed with imperial intention in mind, with the arrow of progress guiding it. So with Talon and Vine, things are a little bit different. It has a lot of infrastructure. It's built up already. It has a lot ready to go. So when we're making this pivot and putting our effort into trying to get Talon and Vine Farm and accessing that, we were trying to shift from, okay, we have to try and get these resources, we have to try and scrape and scrounge to do anything out at vitae and make some kind of base for ourselves to start building from, to quickly pivoting and saying, okay, we're all of a sudden about to have a lot of the resources we need, but no way to actually utilize those resources. We now have to start from scratch in our strategy and in our development almost, in changing to, okay, now we have we have these resources, but this territory is going to be really big. It's going to have a lot of different things that have already been developed that we need to flesh out and see what we can use and see how we can actually redevelop that strategy. So that being the case, that's what I'm talking about today. Over the past probably 5-6 months, we have been slowly trying to understand what's out here, trying to get moved out here, and trying to develop something that can push us forward with what we have. So that's where we're at today. That was all to give you background, saying that we went from our territory, our capital territory of vitae, starting to develop that, getting just barely just a hair into it, and then transitioning over to Talon and Vine Farm, going, okay, now we may have the ability to develop like an industrial center at Talon and Vine Farm that can actually feed vitae and its development. But I know that starts to get a little bit heady, that starts to get into a lot more detail. So I want to actually go ahead and start drawing some things on the board for you guys, start talking about more in depth what our strategy is. So if you're somebody who's a micronationalist, you're somebody who's saying, I really want to develop a country, I'm trying to build something that I can go out practically and use to develop a community, to recruit citizens, to sell things and build an economy, and to develop independence and develop self-sufficiency, being able to create something that is unique and that is of its own accord, is incredibly difficult. But this is going to be me talking about our strategy through the years. We are almost at our 9th year in existence as an empire. We have been going since 12,016. For those of you who know the Holocene era, you just add an extra 1 before the rest of the Gregorian calendar date. But now that we are in 12,025, we are at our 9th year, just about. August 20th will be the 9th founding day for the Empire of Aeternia. So, in addition to going from crazy planning for vitae and the slow, steady slog of getting materials, to rushing to develop Talon and Vine Farm, having all the materials but not having the ability to utilize them, especially as a farm where some things are developed but they're crops, so they, if you don't use them, you'll lose them very quickly and you'll be done for the growing season. And then now being a month out, a little less than a month, 2 weeks out from our next founding day, trying to pivot to setting up our founding day. So all of those themes are going to connect in this talk, and I am excited to bring that forth. If there's anybody who has comments about anything that I bring up, if there's any questions, any confusions, please let me know. Please like the video, go ahead and throw in a comment. Ask me what it is you want to ask, because I'm going to be kind of going trying to keep my train of thought, trying to organize as much as I can. This is going to be very free form. This is going to be me working and planning as we go and trying to answer your questions. First off, we have a lot of people who jumped in. Kingdom of Mostovia, thank you for being here. Albanian says, my micronation never had rain since the actual independence on April 12th. Wow, that's one, exciting that your nation is so young, so new. It sounds like you'll have a lot to discuss in this talk, especially because we've been around for a long time. So micronationalism and coming into micronationalism probably looked a little different when I first entered and when Aeternia first was founded. So maybe you have a fresh perspective. Maybe you have something to ask or to discuss that we haven't thought about or we haven't prepared for. I'm curious to see how that goes. Shubslavia says, I'm not sure what they're saying. Mostovia says hi, great to see you. Baba Booey says good afternoon, great to see you. Dice put a bunch of cats in boxes, very cool. Schrodinger's cat, does it exist? Is it alive? Is it dead? We'll never know. Shubslavia says I have an app that has my nation ranks. Interesting, like for the military or government. Belodom says, I don't know what you're doing, but have a good day or night. Thank you so much for being here. We're a micronation. We're a new country, the Empire of Aeternia. We've been around for almost a decade, almost 9 years now. So we are getting close to a decade of existence, and we are pushing for recognition and independence. Daniel Maloney says, hello from the Republic of Kazmira. Great to see you, Daniel. Thank you for being here. Daniel's been a long time viewer. It means a lot that you're here, Daniel. Lev says, legendary YouTube recommendation poll. Hey, thank you so much for being here, Lev. I appreciate you. And I hope you enjoy the stream. So, Albania says, do you have patches in Parapi? We created one patch for the Empire of Aeternia and sent it off to our citizen James, who actually went to fight in Ukraine. He's back now. He's fortunately safe and sound in the United States. But we did send those patches out to him prior to his service, and to my understanding, he wore them out during his service in Ukraine. So we're incredibly lucky to have had the opportunity to provide those for him, and for him to honor us with wearing them during his service. Other than that, those are the only patches we've made. We've had discussions with Queen Bougie, actually, of Mecklenburg, in potentially doing patches at some point in the future. But those discussions continue, and honestly, we've been all over the place with some of our development here. So we've been trying to build back up to that. But that's a great question. Patches are something that would be very valuable for us to work on. For now, though, I will transition us over to the board so I can kind of explain more of our strategy and what we're doing, so that a lot of my rambling makes at least somewhat sense to you guys. Let me make sure I can lock all this down so that you guys get the best viewing experience possible. And we will move forward. Okay. Hope everybody can see well. I'll bring it just a little closer so you get the full board in view. There we go. Okay. In fact, I'll actually drop you guys just a smidge. Okay, so Bilodam says, interesting, but why? I mean, the reason to create this micronation. Oh, that's a great question. So, the United States is a place that is wonderful and rich in its history and culture. The people are amazing and wonderful, but the government, a lot of the time, does not have their best interest at heart. It's something that has caused suffering for lots of families, including my own. And so being able to go through that and experience, people suffering and struggling through what is supposed to be the standard path for development in the United States. Getting an education, getting a job, trying to go through trying to develop yourself. And watching people struggling and stay impoverished for their whole lives is really rough and really discouraging. So trying to create a new nation is a way of building a different system, saying, hey, we can't control everything that happens, but we can control what we can control, and we can help to build a better culture and a better community from that. Very cool.
Look at how long it is.
Cool.
I've essentially got like a full...
You do have a full song.
Cool.
Tiffany's been working on some very cool music, by the way, guys. So that's a great question, Bilo. If you have any more questions, please let us know. Also, 11 viewers. Thank you guys for being here. Please like the video. It helps to get more people attracted to the show.
Hear a little first couple seconds.
Sure. Do we want to hear Tiffany drop her new song? Sorry, we're doing a...
It's not done.
Doing a thing. Okay.
This is just a snippet.
Okay, a snippet. Play us the snippet.
That's all you get. That's all you get.
Okay.
That's like the first 5 seconds.
She's dropped style. It's very cool. I like it. I've been impressed by it both.
Thanks.
Shapslava says, I was founded in 1943. You might say how, but my great-grandpa made my micronation. Hey, very cool. Congratulations. Sounds like you guys have been running for a long time. And it sounds like you've got a lot of reason to continue to develop. So congratulations. I'm excited to see what you guys do.
You have no mic.
I don't have a mic right now. No, I don't. I'm just speaking into the mic in my phone. Albanian says, I think you should make more patches. That makes sense. Would you buy patches if we made Aeternia patches? Well, Annette said hello. Tierfon said hello. Great to see you guys. Thank you all for being here. Albanian says, what was your idea when you started your micronation? That's a great question. So we, again, I guess I'm going to say I kind of answered that question when I went to Bibo's question, or Bilo's question. So if you have a more specific question, definitely ask that. But I would say, again, dissatisfaction with the United States, and particularly the United States government. But we follow the arrow of progress, the idea that we can unite the invisible to achieve the impossible, that we can bring together all these people who feel underrepresented, misrepresented, or not represented by the nations that they live in, and that those people have value, and that we can all come together, work hard, and create something that benefits the whole. So, Shepslavia says, 3 likes, let me fix that. Hey, thank you so much. And now there's 8 likes. I appreciate you. You did it. You single-handedly dunked the like ratio. Thank you. Shopslav is killing it. And #1 top fan right now in the comments. Thank you. Well, Annette said Tierfon. Tierfon says, I have to change profile to PR Plymouth. Oh, very cool. Okay. Oh, I didn't know it was the same group. Very cool. Interesting to see the like change. Orlanette says, Queen Bougie says, can't wait to hear the song, Tiff. Hey, you got it. And Tiff's drawing something.
No. It could be whatever you want it to be.
He is excited he was excited to hear your song. I'm sure he has something to say about it. Tirfan says, are you Unitism? Albanian says, sure I would buy your patches. Thank you so much. Then yeah, we will have to make some more. Kevin Lindsley says, have you ever looked into resource-based economies as presented by Peter Joseph or cybernetics with Stafford Beers? I haven't. If you could, I guess I'll have to research it, but I'll probably go back in the comments later and like find this comment. I will definitely look it up. If you can email us, if you can reach out at aeternianempire@gmail.com, it would mean a lot if you can educate us on some of the economics that you know, some of the thoughts that you're having, because I would love any input that you have. Shapslava says, yo, wanna be the converism ideology? What's that? Warlanot says, yeah, it's a pleasure to see Aeternia active. Also, Tierfon, yes, it's me. Very cool. Great to see you as well, and I hope your day is productive. We were excited to get out into the garden today, Garden of Nations, but it is raining, so we're indoors. But
it doesn't need us to maintain it today. The Nature's got it.
That's true. That's true. It's getting some water. So we have these two territories, and I'm going to kind of draw them out. So we have. It's interesting because they're very different sizes, but they're the same. Ooh, Tiff's drawing. Misspell.
What?
Swap the A and the E.
Ah.
But close. Perfect.
Okay.
Right. 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 Yep. That's pretty accurate, I would say.
Okay. What do you think about the roads?
Yeah. So that's Vitae.
This one.
But then Talon and Vine, if you're going to draw it to scale, there's no way.
Why do you do that?
Misspell.
My goodness. Just let me write it how I want to write it.
No, I'm going to misspell it. Hold on. A-C-R-E-S.
I'm
There we
thinking
go.
of arc. That's what it is.
Right. Okay, so
Let's see.
we've got Vitae over on this side. It's approximately 3 acres. Tiff's drawing it pretty good. Let me read some comments while we're hanging out. Albanian says, Emperor AP, would you like to join my Micronations Discord server? Sure, I wouldn't mind it at all. If you can send me a link, I will check it out. Plymouth says, all right, changed it. Plymouth said, what's good, Wilhelm? Oh, and also, you're the #1 viewer right now. Thank you so much, Plymouth. It means a lot. Okay, now she's drawing Talon and Vine Farm. Tiff is an artist, so she's.
Let's go here.
I think she's gonna kill it, but the ratios on
And
that.
then there. And this goes like a little bit like that.
What?
And then it goes like. There's like a slight. It's like a slight curve to this bit. I don't think that this is like super straight. I think it's kind of curvy.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
Nice.
and then, you know. These are about our little beds.
A little bit. Oh, the garden. Right the acres.
Yeah, but like-
do it like this side. Right the acres. Okay. So.
Technically, I think to scale of this thing, our little boxes really.
So
right
first off,
here.
Warlanet says, haven't made big changes. Also, Emperor AP, what happened to the base with the earthwork? That is the experimental dwelling we're building at Vitae. Still building it, just taking a long time. Like I brought up in the beginning of the stream, we've now had to switch our strategy to focusing on Talon and Vine Farm, so we can build up Talon and Vine Farm and use the resources to funnel into the development at Vitae to make it speed up. Albanian says, I'll DM you in Discord, thank you. Sarbat Gosh says, guys, your video is definitely laterally inverted. Thank you so much. Can we fix this? I know I can just flip the camera, but sorry, I almost didn't want to do that. Okay. I'll do it. But now I'm going to have no way to read the comments except going behind the camera. Okay, here we go. So, Vitae and Talon and Vine Farm. Hey, you good? You good? No?
It's falling.
I got
It's
it.
falling. It's falling. Okay. There you go.
I got it. Thanks, bud.
We just need to get like a drill thing that'll go through these cinder blocks and then we can get it.
Agreed. So, Subrajit, I hope I fixed it. Shevslavia says convertist ideology is a mix of socialist democracy, socialism, democracy, and a monarch. We have 6 micronations that use it. Very cool. Aeternia says hi. Hey, Aeternia, great to see you. Thank you for being here. Shepslavia says I don't have Discord. First off, Or Lynette says, I must say earthwork structures builds a lot of time to process and progress both. I agree. Emperor Luna said, greetings, Emperor AP. Finally had the chance to drop into one of these streams after so long. It's great to see you, Emperor Luna. Today we are talking about Imperial strategy. That's pretty accurate, I would say. Okay, so Tiff has brought up some valuable illustrations for Talon and Vine as well as for Vitae. One thing to notice, and this isn't to scale for sure, but Talon and Vine.
No, it's vines. Let me just put S's in random spots. It's okay.
15 acres, Talon and Vines. So Talon and Vine Farm is over 5 times larger than Vitae. Tiff said 15 acres. That's a little bit of an underestimate. But
you already read Emperor Luna's thing? I did.
Okay. It's great to see you, Emperor Luna, and I'm excited to talk to you more.
Communist Republic of Albanians that I sent it.
Thank you. To jump into this a little bit, again, Talon and Vine Farm, about 5 times larger than Vitae. So Vitae is completely undeveloped. So I'm going to write the 3 acres and 15 acres up here so that I can start to draw on these. Okay. So, Vitae is interesting because all we have right now on it is a little gravel road. So this is our little gravel road, and we've been able to kind of expand it out to the point that it is now kind of making a pad out onto the land. So we have place for basically us to park 1 car here on this section of the driveway, and then maybe enough to start to get a 2nd car, 3rd car if we really push it. But that's about all we have there. And that, again, just limits us in how we can develop. The other thing we've been able to develop is we have a fractional build on exactly what people have been mentioning, the dwelling. So we have an experimental dwelling we've been building out there, and just getting those resources together is taking the longest time. So
what are you doing?
I'm drawing out the dwelling.
What?
So
it looks like a mess.
Would you like to do our illustrations?
No, I mean it is a mess, so it's not far off.
I mean, that's accurate.
How did you do it like this then?
Okay, Tiff is doing our illustrations. Sarbij said, Wonderbar. I'm glad we were able to fix it. Thank you so much. Shepslavia says now we say that the Plymouth is now the United Micronations. Very cool. And says Aeternia is also in the UN. Thank you. But we don't join micronational organizations, or at least we haven't so far. But thank you for the offer. Orlanet says the newest state I created is named Georgia. It's about 54 acres with a boat launch. Interesting. Named after the original country or named after the U.S. state?
Neither.
Subrajit said earthworks, if hollow, could have a mushroom farm. Oh, absolutely. That is something that we've thought about as well, dealing with especially the fact that this is completely wooded. Vitae as an undeveloped territory, other than these things that Tiffany's illustrating, completely wooded. Very nice. Okay, so those are the wall. Okay, I see you. Okay.
Well, we're like doing like an up view.
Can you draw? Can you draw like where our garden patch is and stuff? See, but this is what's weird about that, because this isn't to scale at all as well. Like, there's significantly more room here than is drawn. But this is, these are very large sizes.
Well, because to scale.
It'd be like a dot.
To scale of this, yeah, it's like a dot. Like over here, our beds are like right there.
The like garden.
Yeah, the
garden.
raised beds, they're like right there. They're like that to scale, but it's to scale of this.
Agreed.
But yeah, you can't draw super big stuff without taking up the entire board.
Agreed. So the issue that we have here is that we have this gravel driveway, and then we have just a little walking trail. And I don't even know if I want to draw it like that. I'll draw it like this. Just a walking trail. And I'm gonna actually define that out as our garden beds. So, we have this little walking trail, and the issue with this is that, again, the rest of this,
You have to draw trees absolutely everywhere.
I will, but just to give some context. So, there are trees absolutely everywhere. And so, this little footpath that we have is our only means of transporting things from the top of this property down to where the dwelling is. Can I zoom? Yes.
Can I?
Let me try it. I just don't want to because it's going to decrease the resolution. And I'm going to have to pan back to there. Okay, so this little walking path right here is the only way we have to carry things from our vehicle. If we park our car, I'm gonna draw the car. Again, none of this is to scale, but you love it. It's a super cool car.
It looks like a little beetle.
It's a super cool car. If we park our car up here, we have to by hand load and walk everything down to this dwelling. And that's fine, but we then, as of the last time we had visited, didn't have electricity, didn't have running water, things like that. We still won't as of going back. However, could you do me a favor, Tiff?
What?
Could you go get me more duct tape? It should be over there.
Oh goodness, this is so hard.
Yeah, don't worry about zooming in. So, we can walk everything down, and that's fine. But because we don't have electricity, we don't have any power tools. If we don't have any power tools, that little bit that we can carry in our vehicle doesn't help us a ton. The majority of our time is spent actually, cutting and shaping our materials to fit the requirements we have for actually developing this dwelling. So a lot of our process is we load up our car with a bunch of materials, we bring the materials down, we work the materials as much as we can, and then we leave and we come back to try to set those materials up after they've been worked. And that can be, oh sorry, Tiff, it's right here. My apologies. And so that can be very, very tedious and headache. So, we've probably in total made 30-something trips out to the Tay, and in that have only been able to do a very, very little bit. We tried to develop a garden, but we weren't able to stay out there long enough to develop it. That's not true. There's actually one other little thing that I'll draw here that's going to look weird when I draw it. We also have some rain barrels out here that we were using to develop a rain catchment system, and we'll still be continuing to develop. However, I have come up with a new strategy for it, especially given the resources we now have with Talon and Vine Farm. So that's something that is going to be improved and modified in the near future. But going out there, again, a lot of our efforts have been spent just in being able to bring materials here to start developing. So now having Talon and Vine Farm, this is a completely different situation. Again, this is a small outpost in the woods. This is something we want to make a lot bigger, but as of the moment have very limited ability to, because anything that we do and bring out, we have to deal with this access problem. Again, now we have the ability, if we really save up our efforts, to bring a car and a trailer or a couple cars worth of material. But until then,
we could put it right here.
put what?
I believe that's that. No, that's spelled wrong. Hold on.
Acquired?
Is that right? That's
Yeah,
not right. No,
what
there's
is-
like a C in acquired.
What are you trying to show?
Okay, I'll do the right what it is.
So, yeah, we do have a generator among some other things. There is
No,
a
no,
bunch
no,
of
but
stuff
that's
to
cool
explain.
because that.
Can power
helps.
this. Yes, absolutely. So that's what I was going to get into. TIF is hidden. So this place, on the other hand, much different, much different. Talon and Vine is a fully developed farm. Now, does that mean that it has, a crop ready to go today and everything's perfectly set up? No. Does it have every single piece of equipment that it needs? Absolutely not, especially to develop something of this size. But does it have a lot more equipment than this? Absolutely. So, a few things to note. There are, I'm doing this like this, but that's not accurate. And I'm going to draw these a little bit smaller just because of the limited space here. But there are, in fact, 2 houses here at Talon and Vine Farm. We also
Hey you.
Hey,
Hey you.
hey you. Trying to describe the setup. So we have this area as well, which is our fenced-in backyard. We have another building here, which is a garage. And then we have, like Tiffany brought up, our 2 little garden beds right here. So we have 2 houses. Let me denote these differently. Okay, house, and garage. We then also have, this is important, and I'll just do it like this.
You're so goofy.
I drew it like that, a big barn. So we have a big barn right there, and then we also have along the side right here a stable. So I'll put that as an S. Then we have some other little areas. Actually, I can draw this better, like this. I keep trying to draw everything as buildings when not everything is buildings. This is a big berry bush. So this is, I'm going to put E for elderberries, because that's what's primarily there, as well as a little bit of, oh dang, putting the two G's is going to be rough. I'll just put berries. Okay, so we have one big berry bush here, we have another big berry bush here, we have a large, I'm drawing this as a pine tree, but it's not a pine tree, a large pecan tree, and then we also have a large, well, that's not accurate. Large amount of field space. So, I don't know why I did that. This, can go in the same direction. There we go. Okay. This is actually interesting. It's a little wooded area. With a pond in it. So, and we have a couple little driveways. So, this being the case, this is a significantly developed property already. It has design to it, it has functionality to it, and we are already utilizing it in the Garden of Nations. Over here, these two little raised garden beds that we've started to set up. We're already starting to utilize this. These berry bushes right here.
Albanian said, Emperor AP, I sent the group server on your Discord.
Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate that.
Flymouth said, Emperor, can I send you an invite to my server?
Oh, I think I've read those.
No, these are different.
Oh, okay. Please do.
Emperor Luna said, Talon Vine looks like it will become Aeternia's breadbasket, with Vitae serving as the capital and administrative hub. In any case, these are exciting developments.
Ooh. Emperor Luna is cooking, absolutely starting to catch on to the theme here. I completely agree. I will say administrative hub is going to be a little bit tough because I will probably be maintaining a lot of time here at Talon and Vine Farm, but you're right, that is the idea eventually, to develop Vitae as the place where most of the business is done, where most of the administrative work and as well the residential aspects, the actual people who are residents living in dwellings on Vitae are managed through. So this will be primarily living quarters, and you're right, kind of an administrative hub, kind of a cultural center. It is our capital. And Talon and Vine absolutely are bread
14
basket.
active viewers, 12 likes.
Ooh, thank you guys.
Dynamic
Ooh.
said you should try and make a gate.
Try and make a gate. Ooh, that's gonna be hard for me to draw. With all these G's too, look at me hitting all these G's, it's gonna be rough. So we do have a gate here. I'll try to draw it. Okay, that's my gate. That could be anything, but that's my gate. So
Queen Bougie said, are you wanting to build more? They put duelings, but I think they meant dwellings as in structures at Vitae.
Yes.
And if so, would that be a citizen plus AP and TIF project?
Absolutely. So these are all great questions. And I would say everybody seems to be, as soon as we started showing this, people are going, I get it. Ooh, I get it. Absolutely. So we're trying to put more dwellings out here at Vitae, but
Well,
if
someone else made a comment, let alone a put in the gate. Dynamic also says, is the path on a hill because you could make a little railroad
everyone's
area
talking
down.
about Vitae. Okay, I see. People are trying to give advice on Vitae. Yes, we should put in a gate for sure. That will be eventual upgrades. So right here, eventually, we want to put gate. That's a good idea. We need to, in general, be able to kind of fence this off. The nice thing is because it's wooded, it's hard for people to see too much. Even here, there's a little bit of street view, but it's kind of tucked off. So it's...
Everyone's got some input. Imperial says getting a generator, at least a rechargeable battery to power tools and basic infrastructure would help while electricity is still in its early stages.
Yeah.
Dynamic also says try and make a railway down the path, so they're bringing it back up.
Okay, so then let's do that. Okay, now I will talk about how everything at Talon and Vine that immediately can assist with developing Vitae infrastructure-wise. So first up, infrastructure. Okay, Talon and Vine Farm has, as Tiffany pointed out, a gas generator. Now, what's also nice about this, in trying to develop Vitae and in preparing all of our efforts toward Vitae, we were like, we're gonna need power, we're gonna need some way to get power. So another thing that we invested
I
in
don't
getting
know
are
if they're talking to you or they're talking to someone else in the chat,
solar panels.
but Cartufilina 26 is my man. I unironically doing Pretoria, which this person explains the Warlinnet. What is
Oh,
this?
yeah, no, they're talking about, well, they may be talking about.
They said it's a micronation, a Family Guy.
Oh, that's true. Yeah. I know what you guys are referencing. I get you. Potentially, it's more advanced than Pretoria. One, because it's not a suburb in Rhode Island, and two, look at the development, look at the planning.
Lena said, "Where is
Territorial
Talon
2.0.
and Vine?"
North
Relative to the
Alabama.
U.S. state of Alabama, I can't recall if it was addressed in a previous live stream / video.
We are in North Alabama. That being the case, so we have a gas generator. We have a few solar panels, which you guys have seen. If you haven't seen our previous video on our solar setup, go check that out.
I will
because it's
say
becoming relevant.
that even though the railway is somewhat good for the Tay, it's gonna not be fun to push the cart back up the hill.
Agreed.
I guess you should
so-
have it empty, but
Well, so there's a few things that we have that can potentially help with that. So the first thing,
although they those same people who said that you were unironically doing Pretoria, they said where is the moat to keep off invaders? So you're missing pieces.
you're right. We need a moat. We need all these garrisons. We need big towers that we can put our archers on. We need war elephants. We need gosh, what else? Salt to salt the earth behind our enemies. Nah. Okay, so one of the things, a few things that can benefit us infrastructure-wise. Got a gas generator from Talon and Vine. It was here. We have solar panels that we brought to Talon and Vine. We're going to be continuing to work on our solar industry with and our energy independence with, that we're going to be able to test out here at Talon and Vine, and then be able to implement out at Vitae once we can secure materials. That's a big part of the reason for actually developing this dwelling and why we've been pushing on it for so long. If we can have a place that we can lock things up, then even if somebody can get on the property, we do need a gate. But even if someone can get on the property, if it's locked in a building, it's going to be a lot more dissuading for them to try and break into a locked building than it would be for them to steal something off the ground.
Well, and some other people in the comment, I scrolled way past it, so I won't call out their names. But some were like, who would be invading, and others are like, Micronation people.
Other Micronations, people who just don't like us, like people could just come and vandalize the place, you know.
Albania says, Emperor P, I think you should have a border patrol vehicle.
Makes sense. Slowjamastan. We'll have to borrow
Warlinet
Slowjamastan.
Is it Warlinet?
I believe it's pronounced Warlinet, but it...
Warlinet says Emperor AP could I become a citizen once I turn 18 next year, or do you allow dual citizenship? The answer is no, but you could do the journeyer's license, and then that allows you to come in and still do some stuff. Not exactly the same, but allows you to come and enjoy the culture that's been made this way. Emperor Luna said, also based on the message mentioned above, Vitae and Talon and Vine Railroad win.
I appreciate it. One day, the dream of having a Talon and Vine to Vitae Railroad.
Who's Emperor AP in this chat? Says shops Slavia.
We'll never know. It's our secret.
We'll never know.
So we have gas generators, solar panels, and we have started developing our own lithium-ion battery packs, which again, we have a previous video on that we demonstrated once last year in a very small form, showing that we could power a string of lights. Now we have a bigger battery pack that's nicer, that we haven't gotten to show off yet, but can actually power the two lights that we're using right now as our studio lights. So a little more powerful, got a little more juice there. And this combo, the solar panels and lithium-ion batteries.
We caught up with the chat, by the way.
And inverter, which is something we need.
I also specifically filtered out those who were just talking to each other.
Thank you, Tim. So, out of these three things, these are going to be the things that help us to get...
Oh, that snake!
Snake! Snake attack! It was this. It kind of looks like a snake, honestly.
Yeah, whatever.
I was gonna say if you really think they're...
No, I think it's like you put it around wires to keep them like together. That's what it looks like.
To keep them together? Oh, like...
Yeah, like when you're pulling them up the thing. Like
to run
like
these.
these.
That makes sense.
Yeah, or you're just like holding it. You're just casing it so it looks, neater.
So, I'll just call it an energy system. We need all three of these things to have an energy system at Vitae. Solar panels, lithium-ion batteries, and an inverter. We have 2 out of the 3. Technically, we do have an inverter that we will use for some future projects out at Vitae, but it is so small that it can't do a ton. We'll use it to run, for example, the studio light, something like that if we need. But if we want to run like big power tools, if we want to run anything long-lasting, the lights at Vitae for any significant period of time, or an air conditioning system, something like that, a water pump, any of those things are going to need a much bigger inverter. So this is still on our bucket list. It's still something we really want to get.
So, has Dynamic been showing up?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because they're going, if you need help with a problem, just ask me and I'll think of an idea.
Thanks, Dynamic. You should just become a citizen of the Empire of Aeternia. That literally qualifies you for citizenship. If you're willing to help us out even a little bit, that qualifies. Just regular activity is a means of developing citizenship in the Empire.
Albania said, I might have a border patrol vehicle, but I made my own border patrol logo that I will show you Emperor AP on my Discord server.
I'm excited to see it. Also, Dynamic, if you want to become a citizen, email us at aeternianempire@gmail.com. Link should be in the description, or the address should be in the description. Also, if you want to go straight to our citizenship application, you can do that on our website. The link for that is in the description. But if you just want to email us, I can shoot you the link.
And Dynamic missed our call out to the fact that there is no, not at all, dual citizenship.
Right, that is true.
The closest
for
thing.
micronations.
Well,
there's dual macronational citizenship. Like you can have a U.S. citizenship and an Aeternian
I don't think
citizenship.
that that's what they're at. I think
Right.
they're just asking directly to you.
But you can't have a micronation dual citizenship. So you can't say, I'm the leader of Warlinet, and then I'm going to become an Aeternian citizen. It's a conflict of interest. You can still participate in our economy. There's plenty of stuff you can still do as a journeyer. It's just effectively a way for us to categorize, like Tiff said, someone who's a valuable part of our community, but who, for whatever reason, can't or isn't interested in gaining citizenship. But if you ever decide that you wanted to step away from Orlanet, we would love to have you as a citizen.
No,
Absolutely.
this is dynamic.
What's Dynamics Micronation?
What? I don't.
Oh, are they asking about dual citizenship?
Yeah, they just missed where we had talked about dual citizenship a minute ago because they
Gotcha.
then ask, is there dual citizenship?
There is not for micronations. There is for macronations. Anyway, if you are interested in asking more questions, learning more about it, hit me up. There's always a way to help. There's always a way we can collaborate one way or the other, even if it's not in citizenship. So we need those things to create an energy system. The gas generator will be able to supplement that to some degree, but it's a very expensive method of doing that. If we have to sit there and run a gas generator for a long time just to be able to, for example, run like small lights or something, it's not worth it.
They are. It says they've been a leader for 7 years, but I will help. That's what
wow.
Dynamic said.
Thank you so much, Dynamic. That
Also,
means a lot.
that's crazy. That's like
Congratulations.
similar timeline then.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like just a couple of years behind what the time that you've spent in it, but it's still like a pretty good amount of time.
It's huge, yeah.
It's a rough life.
It's a rough go at it for sure.
No, I
We've been
mean,
going-
period.
That's
Everyone's
true. Life
struggling
in
out
general.
here.
Maybe that's the reason why micronations are becoming more popular. But yeah, 7
They're
years,
just as big of a struggle
over
to get
half a
started.
decade. Good job. Well, I'm getting pulled. How about me? Okay. Could you do me a favor? Could you make me one of the sodas?
You can show it off.
I would. So I have many more things to bring up to you guys, but in infrastructure, I will quickly run through the
If
rest
you
of
look
it.
out
The other
here.
thing. Ooh, okay. So I can show off the garden too. You guys will get to see the garden in just a minute.
It's dark that way and it's still sprinkling, but if you look out that one,
Yeah.
you can see that it's clear and that like it's about to just go that way.
Hell yeah. Thanks, Tip.
I'll be back.
Okay. We need these things to be able to make the energy system. The gas generator can assist the energy system. I'm gonna write supplemental next to it. It can assist our energy system, but we really don't want to rely too much on the gas generator. It's just going to be expensive. You guys know gas prices are expensive. Running all of our electricity at Vitae using a natural gas, gasoline gas generator is not going to be very beneficial. What we want to do is we primarily want to set up this energy system and put as much as we can of the main things we need to run anything consistently on that energy system. So, for example, we don't want to set up a huge automated watering system. We don't want to set up anything too crazy complex, some big, security system or something, when we don't have a dedicated energy system out there. When we have a small one, we can start to set up small lights. We can eventually get big enough to do an air conditioning, things like that. Security system, small water pump to water the garden, things like that. Those are where our mind's headed immediately, because when we go out there to actually develop and use power tools, for example, we can run this gas generator, and that gas generator will allow us to knock that work out. It's an upfront cost to pay for that gas and to put that in, but that speeds up our production time at Vitae a lot. So that's important. And then again, the other thing, power tools. And welder. So kind of going hand in hand with tools, but these tools will allow us to develop in ways at Vitae that we would not have been able to think of previously, especially being able to work with metals. It's going to be important. And then again, being able to apply an energy system over at Vitae over time will help out a ton. So that's everything infrastructure-wise that right now, if we all of a sudden had to get something set up out of Vitae, we could get a couple lights for a very short period of time running out of Vitae using a makeshift energy system, and then we would have to supplement that for anything else we needed with a gas generator. Now, we have so many batteries that if we really needed to, we could probably keep just sending charged batteries out there and supplying those lights for some time. And then again, kind of supporting that with the solar panels. But This just isn't a complete system yet. It's not robust enough for us to really implement it long-term out at Vitae. So I'm going to have to do some more calculations to figure out exactly what is the threshold we need to develop the system to be at in order for it to be feasible to go out at Vitae and to use regularly. But that's in the works. So that's our big goals for infrastructure out of Vitae and getting everything there. Now, there's a lot we can do at Talon and Vine Farm that can elevate the abilities of Talon and Vine Farm, which can then funnel money and resources and energy and even people over to Vitae to help its development. So, that being the case, let's now look at another aspect of Talon and Vine Farm, and then I will show you guys a few different things that I'm wanting to work on. I need to eventually go and grab, let me see if that's them. Oh yeah. I need to go and pick a bunch more of our elderberries. Our elderberry crop is coming in right now, and I have a bunch of stuff to throw on our compost pile from us picking those elderberries. So, in a little while, I'll show you our elderberries, pick a few with you, show you that process. But that leads us into farming. Now, there are a few different resources. Ooh, thank you, Ted. For
And
farming.
make you a fresh thing because
The water was
yeah.
almost out. Thank you so much. I appreciate that, bud. One thing that we are farming right now that's ready, that I teased just a second ago, let me not spill it.
No, it's good.
It's good.
It's good.
Is elderberries. So this is an elderberry soda. We got a CO2 infuser thing to make sodas a while back, and so now we have collected some of our elderberry, made elderberry syrup, and when you just put a little bit of that elderberry syrup in some soda water, you get an elderberry soda. I've been drinking these for the past 4 or 5 days, and they're really refreshing. It's basically like a sparkling juice, like a sparkling apple juice, something like that. It's a really floral flavor, and it's very light. So the nice thing that I like about it is, one, it's something we're producing completely here. The only thing that we're not getting directly from Talon and Vine Farm that is in this soda is the CO2.
Queen Bougie said soda! But hold on, I think we missed some up above.
But this is a drink that I drink regularly that we can produce completely ourselves. Again, save for the CO2. But it's a very low cost to entry, and we can make these sodas and our syrup, which can last for, I think, 3 to 5 months, something like that in the fridge, using these elderberries. And that crop is going on right now. We are actively collecting and collecting the elderberries, processing them, making the syrup, and making sodas out of it. So we're going to try and start to sell some locally. Unfortunately, I don't know that we can sell the actual syrup across state lines because of Alabama cottage food laws, but we're looking into potential ways to fix that. One thing I've seen
Emperor Luna said, ooh, that looks refreshing, especially for this heat.
Thank you so much. It absolutely is. I would love to send you some in Texas, Emperor Luna. I know you guys are out there. I know it's a scorcher, especially out there with the dry heat in Texas. Here with the humidity in Alabama, it is still pretty rough, but we're making it through with these.
Albania was asking a couple of questions, and I don't really care to say them out loud, but as a response towards your questions, it's not a hate thing. It's a straight up, we ignore them and we don't care what they're doing. They can live their life and we're going to live our life. If they want to keep pressing and saying weird stuff about what Empire AP is doing and what his micronations doing, doesn't matter.
Haters.
It has a right to free speech. We also have a right to just not care at all what they're doing. So
I don't think Britain has a right to free speech inherently. I could be wrong. I don't know much about British
oh,
politics.
cool. So,
also,
well, I mean, you get free speech on
Like
YouTube, though. Somewhat.
I mean, they don't ever declare. Anyway,
I mean, if they ever, like, really say something that's, like, super weird, which we wouldn't know because we don't pay attention to what they're doing, other than you guys in the comments wanting to tell us random things that they're doing.
Correct. So, we do have these elderberries. Their season is right now, and we have a bunch of them. Elderberries, other than pecans, which we'll talk about in a minute, may be our most prolific producer here on the farm right now. This is something that we're collecting a lot of. Again, remember, they're actually, and I lied over here as well, there's a third.
James said hi.
Hey James, what's going on? It's good to see you. Thank you for being here. We're discussing strategy, talking about some of what we're doing. I was showing off, you may have missed it, our elderberry soda that we make now. We have made some elderberry syrup and added carbonated water to it for elderberry soda.
Isn't it good?
It's very good.
It's so much better. You keep doing too little.
Mm-hmm.
I straight up filled it with the last of it, like there.
Oh wow, okay.
No, but I think that's what you're supposed to do to it, so you taste a lot better.
It is really good.
And then you don't taste the weird spiciness of the carbonated water, which is disgusting.
Tiff does not like carbonated water. I'm going for like a light juice, like carbonated
No,
water. Tastes like soda.
AP wants sparkling water juice.
With a hint of
And that's gross.
Fair. But it does help me cut down on sugar. Anyway, and gives you the vitamins from the berries. Anyway, so elderberries, their season is now. They have a lot of health benefits, vitamins A, B, and C, a number of other things. They're big with immune boosting, so a lot of people during like flu season, cold season will take elderberry. A lot of like cough syrups or like gummies, gummy vitamins will be like elderberry flavor, have elderberry in them. A lot of people use elderberries with tea.
I don't know
for
if cough
similar
syrups
benefits.
like that, but
There
I mean, you
are,
probably
there are
could get.
elderberry flavored
You could
cough
get some. I don't think it's the most common one that people go out
It's
and
definitely
buy.
not the most
But if you
common.
did want an immune boost, something another, either one, you're getting some kind of citrus thing, or two, you're getting elderberry.
Right.
Now, where Walnut? What was it again?
Warlanet.
Warlanet says Emperor APD plan organizing forces to protect your nation.
These are great questions. So we are not interested in developing a military. That being the case, we are. What's?
Just keep a short one, so we can hit the next one.
Gotcha. Thank you. We're not interested in developing a military. We do have the House of Solace right now, which is trying to develop a group to assist us with safety. So there will be people eventually, hopefully pretty soon, that are meant to go to events for us, help out citizens who may be building, say at Vitae, if we go out and take a trip to Vitae, and they would be interested in the safety and well-being of our citizens. So whether at events, whether building groups, whatever, they're planning out and maintaining safety over these two territories. So that would be the people who would most immediately go towards something like security, although they're not, guys with guns. They're not people who are trying to specifically be a military or defense force. That makes sense.
So James said, so what I'm hearing is we need a cannery to create branded sodas for inter-micronational trade.
Yes, that would be a great idea. One of the biggest issues that we've run into, Alabama cottage food laws. We still need to do more research, but as of right now, it says that if you're just operating as a cottage food business, if you want to operate as a more specialty food business, something a little higher in prestige and rank or whatever,
you have to get a
you
license.
need to get more licensing. You need to have your facilities inspected by the FDA and get certified and things to run a food-based business across state lines. For things that we can do small in the home, a cottage food business, it's primarily going to be in state lines that we can do that.
Albania, someone, one of the citizens, citizen Steven, went and bought the flag.
Yes.
We did try to sew our own. It's still like halfway made. We didn't even complete it because this one got bought for us.
That's correct. So, real quick to start jumping on some other stuff, we have The elderberries, their season is now. The next thing that will be coming up that's just another thing that we're going to be growing, that's going to come in whether we like it or not, are muscadines. Now, we don't know how many muscadines we'll get. We have noticed our muscadines getting absolutely destroyed by birds. That's a problem with any grapes, any berry farming in general. The birds don't eat the elderberries too much. Bugs and other things get to them. But the muscadines are swarmed by birds. So we're expecting very few muscadines, not enough to
Very few.
very few, but very. Now you got me saying it serious.
Yeah.
Very few muscadines. We're expecting very few muscadines this year, as we just don't have a good way to control the birds and protect the plants. There's bird netting, there's things we can get for that, but we just, the season's about to hit, and a lot of our muscadines have already gotten eaten, so it's tough to invest in. That being the case, we're going to experiment with the muscadines, see what we get, try to protect the ones we can as cheaply and easily as we can, and see what we get. That season will be, say, like early September through maybe like late October. So those are coming up next. And then after muscadines, which muscadines, if you don't know, they're like big sweet grapes. They're pretty cool. But we'll have elderberries, muscadines, and pecans. The pecans will come in pretty late. They're going to be, mid-October through, I guess, late November. And so we're going to have these 3 seasons for things, hitting one after the other after the other. The thing that's nice about these, and the other thing, blackberries, which the season actually already passed for. So that was maybe June through July. So the blackberry season is done, it's over with. Elderberries going on right now, then we're going to have muscadines and pecans. The thing that's nice about these 4 crops, one, the blackberries, elderberries, and muscadines are all native to Alabama. So these are things that I'm not sure about the species of elderberries, whether they were specifically just naturally growing here, or I think they were probably planted, but whether the species itself is something native to Alabama or not, I'm not certain of. But I know all 3 of these in general have native species to Alabama, and I believe all 3 of these on this property are in fact native species. So that being the case, I'm not sure if pecans are native to Alabama or not. I'd have to research that, but I can guarantee that these 3 are native Alabama produce, which is really nice.
Although that's good. So we can see that we have elderberries followed by muscadines, also grapes, because we do just have some plain grapes as well.
That's true.
And they bloom around the same time. The pecans then follow immediately after, but we had this big gap between pecans and when the blackberries come through.
Right.
Also, we have like these cherries.
The choke cherries, yeah, but they're kind of weird. They're not.
What, they're like the same as the elderberries, that like as far as processing them.
Yeah,
they're very similar.
I've never tried.
Well,
cherries.
I say that, but you can straight up eat the choke cherries.
That's true. I mean,
you can't eat too many of them.
Similar.
Like raw like that, but you can eat some of them and it's fine.
Yeah.
What? No, you told me I can't eat the elderberries at all until we cook them.
That is true. So elderberries, not to get too off track, elderberries, one thing about them, they have, there's a cyanide derivative compound that elderberries have in them. It is dangerous to your health if you eat a lot of them. Some people I've seen online
Also,
stuff will eat 1 or 2 while they pick them, and they should be fine, but there are cyanide compounds in elderberries. The way that you use elderberries and consume them is you cook them.
It doesn't. Yeah, people can just look that.
Yeah,
we don't have to go into detail. But like,
don't eat them raw.
you said that you don't think the pecans are.
are native. I don't know if they're native. I don't know if pecans generally are like
Yes.
a thing that have always grown in Alabama.
Yes.
Pecans
There's
are
a tree
native?
outside my grandparents. It's just been there since they bought the house, and it's a pecan tree.
Sure, but yeah, okay.
I'm sure they're.
So they probably are. Okay, so then we're growing native plants, which is really nice.
A
That,
lot of these are native.
right, a lot of these are native. That helps biodiversity. The other thing that Tiff started bringing up, which is really important,
Timeline.
yes, this timeline. So again, we have elderberries, followed by muscadines and grapes, followed by pecans. And then we have this gap going through December. Obviously, it's going to be harder to grow things. Then going
Well, not
into
just that,
the
but
beginning of
January,
spring.
February.
For January, February, going to be hard to grow things.
It won't be.
March,
I'm
April
sure most like lettuces and stuff
would be
you
better
do
that
earlier in the year. You don't want like, we don't want to plant it when we're in the big like frost and all that stuff.
True.
But like they seem to do a bit better if it's not too hot because come June and July it's way too hot for like some of the lettuces. Like even our lettuce, which are supposed to
Started
be for
bolting.
like summer but not necessarily like winter lettuce. Yeah, they just get sunburned and they like die. So you just
Well,
don't
that-
want to keep them in sun like all day long.
Right.
They get killed.
No, I agree. So Tiff's right. There are other crops that we're going to be able to supplement, which would be nice. But that's what I was going to bring up. These are things that already grow on the property. Even with us not taking care of them, they have been growing on the property, and they're things that we can get products out of, make products out of for relatively cheaply. These all have back-to-back seasons to them, pretty much, except for the blackberries. Well, the blackberries then go into the elderberries. They have most of the year in these seasons that we can deal with for collecting a lot of produce that'll just be here. So that'll supplement the Garden of Nations, which then, like Tiffany's saying, we can produce things like lettuce, tomatoes, eggplants, cucumbers, all that kind of stuff, cabbages, a lot of that we're growing right now. And so those things can go in to be just an addition and more abundance there. Right now in our field, here, we have a farmer who's growing soybeans. They had been given access to this field by the previous owners just for free for years. And so because of that, they asked this year, when we moved in, they were kind of in the middle of developing the field for another harvest, another season. And they asked if they could plant their soybeans. So we have them growing their soybeans out there. We just let them do it for free this season. But once they harvest those, I'm sure we're going to collect a good number of soybeans just ourselves. But once next year comes around, once they harvest, once they go through their harvest, we're going to be talking to them about leasing this field from us. If they choose to do that, that'll be up to them. But that'll either provide us with effectively a cash source, a cash crop.
What would be just
there.
grabbing some anyway?
Because there's just so many.
Well, yeah, the field's huge, but also
They're not
just
going to take all of them. They're going to cut some and leave, 3% of the field or whatever.
yeah. But if
on
we
the
just
edges.
grab the ones around the perimeter, I just don't think
No,
that they.
no. That's what I was saying. I don't think they'll care. So that being the case, this field will either just generate us revenue from a farmer renting it, or we will actually go in and grow our own crops there once their harvest ends, and we will have next year another field to develop in addition to the Garden of Nations. But that being the case, I don't want to spend too long on this. You guys can kind of see the layout. Again, these farming practices,
Outside.
Yeah, yep, that's what I want to bring up. I want to show off the Garden of Nations. These farming practices, you may think, how is that super relevant when it comes to, ooh, Tiff's drinking the elderberry soda. We really got to market and set up this elderberry soda. But we have.
Well, it's better if you put more syrup.
That is true. Tiff's big syrup. If you get Tiff to make you a soda, you're getting a good deal on the syrup. If you get me to make you a soda, I'm a cheapskate on the syrup. So get her. If you ever visit Talon and Vine Farm, you come to vacation in Aeternia,
What?
tiff to
No,
make
you
your
just
soda.
gotta figure out a standard. You can't be selling sodas of different ratios.
Tiff
People are
said-
gonna be like, this one was good, but this one was kind of crappy. You really didn't taste the elderberry. It
That's what I'm
just
saying,
kind of
that's what I'm
like
saying.
is water.
I imagine the quality control would be more conservative. So if you want a bunch of syrup, get Tiff to sneak you that syrup. She knows how to put it. But you may think, why is all this farming stuff important? We're talking about infrastructure. You know, you're going from, oh, we can use all this infrastructure to develop Bate, to now, oh, all the farming's happening on Talon and Vine. So what's the point? Just like Imperial brought up earlier, we're trying to make this into our, breadbasket. Perfect term for that. We're trying to make this into where our food comes from. We're trying to make this into our industrial hub as well. So all of these things will be able to hopefully make us a little bit of money, get people out here interested in helping us to do all of this, get some more citizens involved, people interested in residents, and that can all get pushed over to Bate. So without further ado, let me shut up and actually show you guys what that looks like here on the ground today at Talon and Vine Farm. Let's go on a field trip. Okay. Headed on our field trip. Give me one. Give me 1 second, guys. Help me with the fence there, too.
My way, I can.
My bad.
Everyone who tried to go ahead of me.
I was just trying to ram through. You guys are my battering ram. I'm just crashing into stuff. Oh, dang. Somebody's car sucks. All right, and we are here at Talon and Vine Farm, here at the Garden of Nations. As you can see, we have, of course, our Garden of Nations sign, of course, with Beatus Crass's flag, our first official supporter of the Garden of Nations. Here, our first sponsor of the Garden of Nations. And we have a lot of development. If you guys have actually seen our previous live streams developing this first garden bed, you will notice that our produce has already started to grow quite substantially. This one pepper plant was a lot smaller. You can see it's grown up quite a bit. It's actually starting to produce some little small pepper on there. So even though this thing was stunted, it's coming back. Same thing with our eggplant. The plant itself getting a lot more foliage, getting a lot healthier. And then even our eggplant itself actually turning green again. Going from being an eggplant that was a baby but almost ready to pick to now starting to grow again and actually get more, increase its size. So maybe that'll affect the flavor. Maybe it won't be as nice of an eggplant, but we should get a larger, healthier eggplant out of it. We also have, again, these other two little peppers. So we have 3 pepper plants, we have our eggplant, and then our cabbage also, again, getting a lot more foliage. The thing that's nice about our cabbage is that the cabbage is what we want to get a bunch of foliage. So you can actually see down in there, our little head is starting to form in our cabbage. So this cabbage has a lot left in it, a lot to go. And what's nice about it as well is that these outer leaves, as it continues growing, once we get all the ones that have been decimated by hornworm off, we can start to eat the leaves. So not only will we, eat the cabbage head once it grows, but we can actually cut up and make these leaves themselves. We also had another cabbage that we thought was on the way out that we just couldn't save. So we threw it off over the fence, kind of technically outside of the Garden of Nations, closer into our bean field over here. And it's still surviving somehow. It is still living right there, doing well. We put some hay around it to kind of protect its roots and keep the soil moist around it. But it's doing its thing. It's surprising us. So the garden's picking up. And then just yesterday we finished off
putting in the second bed for the Garden of Nations.
Although they got super rained out today, so they're a little sluggish.
They're a
very
little sluggish.
waterlogged due to the rain. But
Yes.
they should be perking up if we can get a couple more sunny days to perk up like this.
That is true. So again,
Just
they were.
bad timing.
Yeah. I don't even know, because it's nice that it really got hit.
Sure, but they do not like being overwatered. They're like very upset about this.
That is true. We stressed them by actually taking them out of their small little, excuse me, puppies, undersized pots that we had them in, and then now sticking them in this dirt. It just shocked their roots. It messed them up. But we do have a lot more. Let me move you guys over here so you're not looking at the sun the whole time. But we now have these. Yeah, I'll see if maybe this is better. A little bit. Yeah, so. Oh yeah. Now we're dealing with these pepper plants and tomato plants. We have 3 tomato plants here in the back. We have 3 pepper plants here in the front. The issue here is we're gonna have to replace one of our pepper plants. This one right here did produce a pepper previously when it was in its smaller pot. And it's even producing little small peppers right now, but we didn't realize its stem had been severely damaged. I think one of the puppies may have gotten to it, and so either that or a bug or something, but it's been chewed up. So this stem, I think, is going to die. This plant will probably die. We'll have to actually unroot it, pull it out, and then go ahead and replace it with either another pepper plant or something similar. But it seems like this raised bed will be puppy surprise. That's Q. We're trying to get rid of Q. We're trying to look for Q a home right now. Q's a super sweet puppy, but we are trying to get rid of Q. This is Chewy. This is going to be our little puppy, our little energetic one. Freaking out, not liking being held. A drama queen for sure. But this is our little Chewy. Puppy fights. Uh-oh.
Oh,
Chewy's
goodness.
serious about it. Chewy took the puppy fight too serious. We can't have it. Round over. TKO. Let me go ahead and read some comments from everybody. Great to see everybody here and engaging, not only with the community, but with us. It means a ton.
The kitty's outside too. The kitty's outside.
Oh, Mundo's outside?
Yeah, he's
Oh,
out
that's
in the front.
Oh, okay. Fair enough. I was looking for him. James said, think of seasonal specials of cans of Royal Reserve, Blackberry, and Royal Reserve Elderberry, Aeternian carbonated sodas, plus culture, plus money, plus market. Yes, absolutely. That is the dream. Royal Reserve, I like the name of that. That's a good, Royal Reserve. Really fancy. I do like that. That sounds nice. Good marketing, James. Very solid. This is why James killing it as a citizen. I appreciate you, James. Goxus, is this a world building project or commune? That's a great question. We are a micronation. So as much as we are an intentional community, we're a group of people who are trying to build.
What you wanted to be.
Right. Trying to build a better world for sure. We are trying to improve the world, make it better than we came into it with. But yes, but not in the game sense. We are an intentional community trying to develop. We're trying to be recognized as an independent country by other nations in the world. We want to be recognized by the UN. We want a seat at the table. We are just a long way from that point, it seems, right now. We are actively developing, trying to develop industries like we're showing off here, like we've been talking and strategizing about. All of that is so that we can get citizens, help them become residents and actually live on our territories, provided housing and food and necessities by us, being able to continue to grow that quality of life for our citizens
until the point where we can continue to grow and get in new territories, expand our empire, and eventually be so powerful that we are recognized. James answered saying, "This is kind of a commune, question mark. It's nation building at the micronational level." Absolutely. That's a great way to bring that up, James. Warlanet says lag. Sorry about that. One thing, being out here in the country, there's a lot of lag. James says, "Of course, Queen Bougie, and it's my honor to have been bestowed as such." James says, "These are some spectacular raised garden beds." Thank you so much. We are absolutely trying with them. One of the things that's nice about these raised garden beds that I keep gushing over, they're so tall, which is great because people who may be older, for example, my father, helps us with these garden beds, and him, not having to bend down, huge help with mobility. Anybody with mobility issues, going to be able to access these garden beds a lot better. It's also nice for filming, instead of having to lay on the ground to try and film something up close, I can just walk you guys, especially during a live stream or something where it's really hard to get. I can walk you guys right up to this plant, and it looks like you're at ground level just because of how tall these garden beds are. So, you can really go through and see detail. Look at that, if I can get it on there. There's a flower. I think you guys can see that. There's a flower growing on this this tomato vine, and so we can show things like that at this level. The other thing that's nice about this garden bed has a liner. Because these are pallet wood garden beds, we really don't want to have too much of our dirt in contact with the pallet wood itself. We don't know where it comes from. We want to make sure that we're not dealing with any dangerous coatings or chemicals. So we actually have a double liner set in to each of these garden beds to protect them from that as much as possible. Also, just the volume of dirt that we're dealing with. I mean, this is probably more than like a square meter of dirt. So this is probably a ton of dirt that is just, stacked on top of each other, being compressed. Even this dirt, as high as it is, we packed it over the top of this garden bed. In a few weeks, it's going to settle and hopefully go to the level of the top of the garden bed. Our previous garden bed, our first garden bed that's doing beautifully now, it started up at about the height of the garden bed when we filled it with dirt, and now look where it's at. Look how much it has dropped. So it looks very sunken in. What we're actually going to have to do at some point is peel back all of this straw and pile more dirt on it, and then actually pack these guys back in. So that'll be tough. Once the season's over, we're actually going to pull these guys out. We'll let them grow as much as they can, then we'll pull them out and redo the bed, make sure to pack it up so that it gets kind of to the same level as over there. But you can really see the discrepancy in the size once you compare one garden bed to the other, just in their height. They're the same height, basically. They're made out of pallets of the same dimensions, but this one just has sunk down so much. So we've got these nice raised garden beds. They also keep pests out amazingly. I mean, these little guys are pests, and they can't get in there, and that's nice. Birds haven't been too big a problem. They've been destroying our muscadines, so I think they're busy with that. And then, little bugs like, for example, the hornworms that normally are absolutely ravaging these cabbages. With them being in here, the hornworms really aren't getting to them. So cross our fingers, but this is a nice setup for us so far. Dynamic says, what crops are you growing? So quickly, 3 bell pepper plants, 1 eggplant that has 1 little tiny eggplant growing on it that we're hoping to get larger, 1 large cabbage right there, 1 baby tiny cabbage right there if it manages to survive. Then we got 1, 2, 3 tomato plants right here, and we've got 1, 2, 3 more bell pepper plants, except this one is unfortunately a goner. We're gonna have to figure out how to help him later on. But those are our plants as of right now. And again, these are just 2 garden beds. We had a lot more growing in the Garden of Nations. previously, but it is unfortunately getting actively torn up by puppies. So we're trying to build these garden beds to move everything we can salvage from the initial seed development of the Garden of Nations to these raised beds, and then just over the rest of the season plant and add things to try and fill in the gaps. James says the background noise kind of drowns out your voice, AP. AP is still audible, but Tiffany is soft-spoken and is lost to the wind and crickets. Oh, I'm sorry about that. Thank you, James, for letting me know. I'm probably reading this incredibly late, but when Tiff gets back, we'll try and figure out a mic situation or something. Dynamic says, keep the crop you are growing to throw away so you can turn to fertilizer. Absolutely. That's something I left. I need to go get it back in the Hall of the Empire, but we have the clippings from our elderberries. That's the other thing I want to do with you guys today on stream before we head out, is I want to show you guys some of our elderberry crop. We're going to go and harvest some of that, and I will take the remainder of the elderberries that we've actually already processed and throw those back into our compost pile. One that's going to get a bunch of little elderberry plants to start cropping up over there, which isn't necessarily something that we want, but we don't mind it. And then the other thing, it'll help us to create that fertilizer that we can use to fill up and top off these raised beds every year. James says, I didn't realize your notifications on Discord were on. I apologize. No worries. Thank you, James. I probably should mute them for stuff like this, but I didn't. Bad planning on my part. Emperor Luna says, the garden looks very delightful. The space and different varieties of produce will feed so many people. A lot of these vegetables look delicious too. Thank you so much. That's the dream. Again, even right now, we have so much that can go to use for people. Not only, in like, oh, we can make these elderberry sodas and syrups and sell those, and these more artisanal items, so to speak. We also have a ton of that stuff over there. If you see that fence line, let me zoom in. It is the scourge, it is the menace, it is the vine that ate the south. You see that over there on that fence line right there, that thing that looks like bushes where you can kind of trace my finger along right there? That is kudzu. And that kudzu is growing all along that fence line. All along that fence line on our property. And that kudzu, with my super zoomed in face, that kudzu has leaves when it's very young that are tender and that can be eaten. Once the leaves get big like they are out there now, they're just a little too rough to eat. You really don't want to mess with them. But their roots are big. They are like huge potatoes. They are in fact called taters. So the taters from these kudzu we can cut and chop and grind up and get the starch out for making things like chips, for making things like thickeners for soups, or as substitutes to mix in when we don't have a ton of flour for bread. You can use the starch for so many different purposes, for just mixing in and adding to different things. So that's another thing that's just existing out here, that whether we want it to exist out here or not, does. So we might as well make use of it. We might as well find a way to give that to our community and assist. So we want to try and make products out of it and try and sell as much as we can. But of course, kudzu is something that's plentiful and it's everywhere, and people want to get rid of it. It's a nuisance, it's a pest. It's absolutely not native. It's an invasive species that's taking over all this farmland and doing all this damage. Then let's give it to people who need it. Let's, if we can, try to give it to places like homeless shelters, places where we can feed people with it, places for people who are desperate for some kind of food, something that isn't going to solve all the problems. This isn't, for example, getting some pieces of kudzu or some daylily like we've harvested and foraged in the past, or some elderberry syrup. Those aren't going to be things that completely fix all of your food needs. That's not going to be a balanced diet for somebody, but it's a start. It is something that can take a little bit of the weight off of somebody's grocery bill. It is something that can, provide a little bit of extra joy and value that doesn't come from a corporation like Coca-Cola that, for example, supports the genocide in Palestine. There are a bunch of different reasons why having little things out here like this that are growing, that are developed, can benefit people, can support our community, and can show the value of what we're doing here in the Empire of Aeternia, that hey, you know, the government can't help you to do this or that or the other, you're struggling, you're having a hard time. We're barely doing anything. We're not even a fraction of the size of even your local city government, and yet we're going to provide you something small, something that may not be super significant, but it may make a difference. And that's what we're trying to do here. So small starts, but if you're interested in something like that, if you're interested in really making a difference, not only in the Empire of Aeternia, not only in our local community in Alabama, but in the world, if you want to see other nations take on challenges like this and help out and make a difference, you can join groups like Beatus Crafts. You can join groups like the Empire of Aeternia, nations that are trying to make a difference. And you can join the Garden of Nations. The way that we're going to do the Garden of Nations, I want to get an actual formal application down soon, but we're going to have for these setups, this is the baseline starting support for the Garden of Nations, to get your flag put on our sign here, showing that you are a, showing that you are a supporter of the Garden of Nations. Your nation can be placed on this sign for a flat fee. We're going to set that flat fee, I believe, at $20 right now, so $20 US. You will be able to have your flag and your nation be represented through time here on the Garden of Nations plaque. We're trying to do that so that people don't have to, you know, consistently pay to help out if they can't do that, and also so that we can get this sign filled up with nations. We want to really show the world that people care about building things like this, that this really makes a difference for communities, and we want to show off the different people who are responsible for making that happen. So in addition to showing you like our plants and things like that, as we go along, we want to show you who we end up giving this produce to, whether we're selling it and how we're doing that, whether we're giving it away to different groups who need help, whether we're having people come over and help us out and we're giving them some of the harvest as a reward. You know, even for things like Founding Day that are coming up in a couple weeks, we're going to be preparing a celebration here. So being able to have things like our elderberry syrup and sodas that we're going to be sharing with people who come to that event is something that you can help to make a difference with your support here in the Garden of Nations. So Queen Bougie, I know you and I have talked about that. If Mecklenburg is interested in having a place in the Garden of Nations, we would love to have you. Same thing with you, Emperor Luna, and all of the different micronations here. We are honored to be starting this and excited to have you all join us in developing a world that can provide food for its people. Dynamic said, hi. Emperor Luna said, I would love to stay on, but I'll be having family over soon. I'll be checking in with Aeternia again. Take care. Great to see you, Emperor Luna. Thank you so much for being here. As always, Aeternia forever, and I wish you luck with the family. I hope you have fun. I'm excited to talk to you again. James says, 22 unique commenters so far. Everyone remember to like the video to show support and boost us in the algorithm so we reach more people. Yes, absolutely. That is huge. We've also been doing well with subscribers. Our subscriber count, I think as of this week, is like 11 or 12 or something like that. We've been doing well. We've been jumping up, and it's thanks to support like yours. It really is. We are not able to continue to grow and continue to push like this without people who really understand what we're doing here and are really interested in getting involved. So all these micronations, all you guys who are trying to get your start, trying to find your way in, we're trying to open that up and trying to provide just a little brighter ray of sunshine to help in those efforts. So you guys liking, you guys being here in the chat, that boosts us, which hopefully can help to provide a better space for you guys to find each other, collaborate, and link up with us. Dynamic says, if you want to continue the lifespan of your crops, try and dry them throughout side or in a dehydrator or can them. Yes, absolutely. So for our elderberry, for example, if we have a ton of elderberry, we're going to eventually just go to drying some of it because the dried berries last a lot longer than the juice. However, the dried berries, vice versa, take a lot of the nutrients out and decrease the flavor of the berries. So you get a weaker product when you actually finally do rehydrate the berries but you do get a lot longer shelf life. So we'll be thinking about that and trying to figure that out. Albanian says, Emperor AP, once you finish with the live stream, could you join my Discord group anytime before it expires? I will check it out for sure. Also, there's a way to, I think, set like an unlimited time link. I'm not sure. Dynamic says hi. Queen Bougie says correct, AP. Hey, thank you so much. Also, #1 fan, #1 supporter right now, Queen Bougie of Mecklenburg. Thank you so much. Again, we are honored to have Mecklenburg as friends and as people who have been providing us inspiration with their videos as well. So thank you, Mecklenburg. Thank you, Queen Bougie. I am so happy to see you here on the stream. Dynamic says if you need protein, try and get eggs with chickens, because if you get 20 hens, you would get 3 to 24 a day, or 1,960 average for 7 months. Ooh, Dynamic, you think we aren't on it? You think we didn't think about protein? You didn't think we think we... What are these? These are quail. We currently have a flock of 5 quail that we've been developing, and you notice, we actually may have the first example of our second layer in the batch. We've got 2 eggs, as you can see in there. One that quail is hiding, and another, which is right here up in the front. Now, you might notice we have barbed wire on this, and you're thinking, what kind of vicious monster quail are these that you have to protect yourself with barbed wire? And I'll tell you, it's not the quail. The quail, surprising and as vicious as they look, are not a big threat. It's actually these menaces right here. Their mother was just a stray dog that was on our property when we showed up here. And so unfortunately we did have to call animal control on her. But the puppies we have been trying to slowly get rid of, except for this sweetheart right here. And so we had to protect our quail. Their mom got into this quail cage and killed our previous flock. We had 5 previously. All 4 of the hens in the flock were laying. We were getting about 4 eggs a day consistently, and then they were killed. So we had to restart with a whole new flock. We've got now 2 of them producing a day out of 4, so we're up to half capacity, which is great. And that is our protein source. So what we're going to be doing now is incubating more of these eggs to get more quail, so that we can have some quail meat as well for meat production. And we will be continuing with the eggs. So we will be growing our flock over the next few years. So I hope that helps to answer and provide some benefit as far as seeing, okay, well, you have the vegetable garden, that's cool. You have some fruits and berries and nuts and stuff, that's cool. You have some wild kudzu, that's cool. What about protein? Where's your meat at? Right here, these quail. That's where our meat and eggs are coming from. And again, that's not enough to fully sustain us forever, but it's more than you think. We don't eat a ton of eggs, so having that as a little extra protein is nice. And it's also encouraged me to eat more eggs. So finding unique ways to use the eggs and the quail meat will be a big part of developing here as well, creating the culture out here. Albanian says, Emperor AP, does your micronation have a currency? We sure do. We have the Imperial note, which is not only our currency, it is also the way by which we promote aristocrats. So if you check out our website, we have the aristocrat board, which is the wealthiest people in the Empire of Aeternia. And the way that those people are ranked is based on how many Imperial notes they own. There are some people who have over 100 Imperial notes. So that being the case, you can check out those wealthy and famous aristocrats yourself on our aristocrat board. And if you're interested in getting some Imperial currency yourself, you are able to actually potentially get on that board yourself. I think the lowest amount of notes is maybe 10 or 15. So there is a chance for you to become an aristocrat if you want to collect our currency. Dynamic says he does and said hi. Hello. Oh, and Dynamic, Queen Bougie, both getting on as the top fans. Thank you guys so much. Queen Bougie says, of course, Your Majesty, we all have to support and stick together. Absolutely. Dynamic said, I'll be back. Thank you so much. Alistair said hi, and Alistair said, Aeternia is such a dope name. Thank you so much. It combines eternal, meaning forever, with ethereal, meaning light or airy, like a spirit. So we say Aeternia forever, meaning we want this nation, which lives and resides in the hearts of its citizens, to exist forever, and that it shall, so long as people believe in it. That being the case, let's go help to make that nation a reality. I'm going to cover you guys up for one more second. while I grab some things and get ready to start working on our elderberry bush. One moment. Gonna set you guys up looking at this wall for one moment while I grab the things I need. Be right back. All right. If you can hear my voice, I'm coming back. Hello. Sorry, had to get our elderberries to go back to collecting. Give me just 1 second, guys. Ooh. Okay. Is everybody ready for the great reveal? Here we go. Let me back you guys up just a little bit. You can see this big bush behind me is full of elderberries. Might not be able to notice that because the elderberries are very dark and because that person's shooting a gun. But here is our old batch of elderberries that we already picked a lot of the elderberries out of. If you look really close, you can see some of the tiny little berries still in there. Those are just some that are older or not worth grabbing. James says, yes, we are, reveal time. But this is our big elderberry bush, and it is a lot bigger than you would think. I mean, going from all the way over there, all the way over here, continuing to walk. You can see all the berries up on this side. Continuing to walk, going around and around and around. Turning as we go. Uh-oh, excuse me, guys. Turning as we go. Here we are, more berries. Turning. I mean, look at that. Look at all those up there. It's a wave of them. It really is. There is a ton. A lot of them are ready to go right now. Again, this is probably a great view of that. Let's see. There are, I mean, literally hundreds and hundreds, potentially thousands of berries here. And this is something that we are excited to start harvesting. So, already harvested a little bit. I'm going to throw this into the compost pile with you guys. There's also just a ton of the berries that fell off that we needed to get rid of, that are, again, green or old or something. So we're going to go back to the other side, pick a bunch of these, and I will show you what that looks like. Actually, one more thing. Hey, can everyone see the stream okay? I'm back. Let me know if you can see the stream. If not, I will try and adjust again.
I'm currently walking to the berry patch. Hey, James said we're back. Fantastic. If it happens again, let me know and I will reset. Thank you guys so much for being quick on the timing there to respond. I appreciate it. You guys are helping me in real time to troubleshoot. So, let me go ahead and start getting some of these berries. We were picking a couple days ago, so I had my ladder moved over there, but I will show you guys up close. There are some monsters that are here, and I say that half joking. Um, these guys are very nice. This is a great specimen. When we have been grabbing these, they are pretty tiny. One of the things that makes me think they're I don't necessarily think they're wild, but certainly a native species, is that I don't think they're GMO. I have nothing against genetically modified foods. However, I think these in particular are a lot smaller than other elderberry varieties that I've seen people talking about online that, you know, they get from the seed specifically to make as a crop. But that being the case, these are very nice. And so they're just a little tinier. But nevertheless, the juice tastes just as nice. And you can keep collecting a bunch of it to be able to make some juice. So again, we're thinking about potentially like gummies, maybe like a vitamin or supplement, if that's an easier way for us to sell them across state lines. And again, trying just to learn more about this industry, more about these native plants, more about what it is that people need and what we can do to provide for that. So one of the things that's nice, we have a wonderful citizen. I'm going to leave these actually a little longer. A wonderful citizen named David, who actually is one of our most recent citizens. In fact, technically, no, our most recent citizen. David had his citizenship ceremony actually there at all of the Empire that we were just in earlier, and he set you guys up so y'all can see me a little better. He was really excited and interested to help out with the Empire's developing farm industry. In particular, he wants to do more physical labor type stuff. So we want to really train him to do a lot more hands-on stuff. And this, I think, will be something that's very fitting for that. You know, if he can learn in real time as we're starting to learn about, for example, elderberry production, for example, muscadine production, and all of these different plants that are growing here naturally, if he can learn more about how to harvest those and cultivate those, you know, what nutrients they need to really thrive, what we can do to help out their pollinators and stuff like that and create kind of a better ecosystem for them. In doing all of this, we have an opportunity to have someone really focus and learn it so much better than we could, just because of how much time we have that's spread into other things. If we can get someone like David to really take this as their craft and build it, that could be incredible for them. We're going to need it one way or the other, and so I hope that is something that David is interested in doing, and from my discussions with him, it seems like it is, but we will have to develop that as a role very shortly. Or I guess develop that as a part of someone's role. Got some more of those elderberries here. It's starting to pour a little heavier. Still doing all right, but I mean, even just in those few minutes of getting some elderberries, we have about half a bag. And so this shows you two things. One, just how many elderberries you can get and how quickly you can harvest them from just a few of these clusters. But secondly, it shows you that this is going to require a lot of processing. We're going to break this down, and it'll produce quite a few berries, but there will be a limit for sure. James says,
I'm about to go. We're in similar time zones. I need to finish mowing the grass before it gets dark. Good luck, James. Thank you so much for being here, and I am excited to talk to you more soon. As always, Aeternia forever. Hey, thank you, James. Aeternia forever. Queen Bougie says, until next time, Sir James. Absolutely. Thank you. As well, an honor. Queen Bougie, it's exciting that you are here with a knighted Sir of Mecklenburg, as well as a citizen and government official in Aeternia. It's an honor that you had decided to knight one of our citizens. James is a great guy. He definitely deserves it. But that's cool, you know, to get to see you guys interact in the live stream is a deepening lore for myself as well. It is a contribution to everything that we do and a testament to friendship in the micronational community. I'm thankful for that. Bougie says, you as well. I believe talking to James, and then said, and he's the first. Yes, absolutely. James is the first knight. That is an incredible honor. Not only a knight, but the first knight, being not only someone outside of Mecklenburg, not a citizen, but also someone who is, you know, a part of another micronation. That's a big honor for us, and we hope to do that justice. We want to continue to see Mecklenburg thrive and assist as we can. Dynamic says, guess what, I'm back. Whoa, helping out. I appreciate you being back, Dynamic. We are in the middle of a rainstorm, so maybe you can give us some ideas here. I am trying to collect some more elderberries and get through as many as I can. There's a huge cluster. I'll point you guys just a little bit. There's a huge cluster. Let's see if I can see it. Yeah, up there. Yep, it looks real small on the camera, but it is quite large. Let me see if I can move these things. Yeah, that's a big cluster up there. It's very far away. I think I would injure myself trying to get that, so I'm not going to. But that would be a good one to get. There's actually a smaller one next to it that I will probably try for, because it looks like my ladder is just big enough to reach there. So we're going to attempt to grab a few of these. I'll move you guys with me and talk to you as I go. But thank you for being here. This is a big change up from what the live stream was. But still, I think, relevant to explaining our strategy, showing what it is we're doing and why it is we're doing it. Look at this one. I mean, this is a near perfect bunch. Almost all of these are red. A lot of the time, you're going to get some green ones in there, which is difficult, but we persist nonetheless. What about this one? No, that one's still got a few to go. This one's very good. This bunch is good. Some of these bunches are older, and we can tell that they're older because, one, all the berries are ripe, but two, the ones that aren't ripe are gone. They've actually fallen off, they've become old and just decayed, and so that's what we don't want. We want to try and harvest them right on time, but it's hard because they all come in at different times. So you've got to be real careful to watch your crops, especially with these guys. They're just so finicky. Let's see. It is raining.
It's raining. We got the clippers?
It's big raining. I don't have the clippers.
Oh, you want me to go get the clippers?
Sure. Okay, I did manage to get the big bunch that I didn't think I'd get to get. This is my white whale, everyone. And I got her. Moby Dick ain't got nothing on this. Okay. Now I'm trying to get the rest of these berries. There's some like deep in the middle, and I really don't think I'm going to be able to get those this time. But I will come back at another point. Once a lot of these outer ones go away, the nice thing will be if I can... Oh, thank you, sir. Hold on long enough. Then I can just chop it all back, and the ones deeper inside will be easier to trim. Oh, I was going to leave that one for another day or two. But it is real cool. Okay, hit it. Wait, hold on, let me film you do it. Tiff's gonna cut that big one we were looking at earlier, guys. She's cutting the monster. Here she goes. Cutting it. Big reveal, Tiff. Ooh. Ooh, very pretty. Hold it like how guys pose with fish. Yeah. Yeah. It is. It's a big bunch. I appreciate you, dog. And then we gotta go out to the pond and catch some fish, and then you do it with a fish too. A berry and a fish and a talon and a vine.
Sorry. I didn't have enough, like, sassy teenage boy in it.
That's true.
You
That's true.
You gotta be like,
There you go. Yeah, kind of not even care.
yeah.
Just a little.
Just a little. I'm happy, but I don't want the camera to know I'm happy.
Right.
Okay.
Also, these gloves got shredded by a tractor, and so I have the fingers for this one. The knees are gone. I'm
Well,
a
you shouldn't be losing it out.
hobo gardener. Okay, so I think we have most of these. You want to check the other side? Oh, she's getting more.
Oh no, this fell off. I didn't even pick
Well,
it. It just came right off.
That's okay. We'll take it. We'll get something.
I grabbed it to try to look at it, but then it just
Yeah,
fell right off.
we got it.
So I guess that one was ready. It's gonna fall. It's too wet.
Sorry for the jiggle, guys.
Look at this one. It's a little bit.
That's true. Okay, well, I'm gonna let you. Can you hold the bag for me? Please. Okay. Then I am going to hold the bag, but I'm gonna run away from you so that it's impossible for you to get to it.
Wait, look at this big one. Yeah, look at those. Look at those. Look at those. Look at those.
Yeah, that's why
I'm
I've
not
been
saying
trying
take
to
it
leave
all,
them.
but just like the portion.
They're like all. That's true. You can get the portion. Okay, let me go to the other side and look at some of those. Those are getting close. Tiff's gonna get these massive berries. I'll leave you guys with her for a moment, so that I can go and check on these other ones. They do.
I did not.
They love you, Tiff. We all love you.
I do. Pretty good. I don't know what to do with it.
You just do your best. That's what you do. And you just do your full self.
They're falling off in my hand.
Oh no, what is?
The berries.
Nice.
As I don't have anywhere to place them.
Okay. Whoa, posing like fish. Got it. Okay, so. Dynamic said if you need help with collecting, get a shovel and make a spike in it. Cut some hole out and make sure the shovel is very wide, 1 foot. The spikes are to help with extra extractor. Oh, makes sense. That's pretty cool. Thank you for the tip. We've been, if you're talking about for these, we've been doing it with a fork. So we actually like scrape the berries off with a fork. But that is a great idea. Oh, you may be talking about doing the hay. That is a good idea. For moving our
Yep, I'm just taking all of it.
okay, our compost pile. Let me continue reading. Albanian says Microcon will be in San Diego. Very cool. People are saying water's on my phone. It is. I need to bring it inside. Dynamic says, by the way, the holes need to be in the center of the shovel. Make sure they're like lined. Okay, makes sense. Yeah, to kind of scrape the berries away.
Leave those.
Okay. Alright, I think that's about it. Yeah, we got a few more. Yeah, we're already nearly full on our bag. This bag will probably make a cup and a half close to 2 cups of berries. Oh, also guys, it looks like my phone is about to die, so I will see you guys later. Let me show you real quick the bag. We do have the berries. We'll process them, show you guys on Instagram the actual syrup, and start posting more stuff about our selling it. But great to see everybody. I hope you guys enjoyed the stream. If you have any questions, please email us, reach out to us, join the Discord server, and of course, Aeternia forever. See you guys next time. Posing with the fish.